Hey friends, welcome to my tarot parlor. I'm Marilyn from Tarot Clarity. Today will be a video that some of you might like. It's opening up a brand new tarot deck that I just received yesterday. It arrived last night. Now I know that other tarot channels may have previewed this if they got an advance copy from the publisher. I originally saw it a few months ago on Simon from the Hermit's Cave. I saw him do it and it caught my eye. I have a feeling, if I remember correctly, that it's Rider-Waite-Smith, so it's neither a historic deck nor a pip style deck, but the art attracted me, and I'm open-minded enough to recognize that modern day tarot cards are still part of the fluidity of tarot history. They may not be my preference, but I recognize, that that it is all part of tarot history. I apologize. I was just distracted by somebody pulling into my driveway. So I had to purchase it advance. I had to order it in advance, and I had to do it through Amazon. So this is an Amazon purchase. I don't know where else it is available for purchase, but that's where I ordered mine. And like I said, it was an advanced kind of thing a couple of months ago. So let's flip the camera and just get started. Okay, so all I did was cut the bag open, and we have Chromatika Tarot, created by Federico Babina. Let me put my glasses on. And this looks like a low Scarabeo. It looks like a low Scarabeo production. I was attracted to it, because of the geometric shapes and the kind of cubistic forms. I don't know. I just was kind of attracted to it. Purchased it for $28.95 USD, so it's under the $30 realm of tarot decks. The person you hear out there is the mosquito people who are spraying our yard. So I may have to pause this and come back to it after he's done. But I'm committed now because I already started the video and I already cut it open and all that. So I like to keep that pure. Here's the box. One of the reasons I think I was attracted to it, other than like the art of it, was I kind of like abstract tarot. I do. As long as it can convey the concept through abstract form, I'm all in. And we'll see how this does. Okay. Comes with a little book. Oh, of course, it's sealed in. Nice sturdy little box. Barely bigger than a tuck box, but significantly more substantial. So I do appreciate this kind of box. Okay, let me pause because this guy's coming right under my window. Okay, they're pulling out. I don't even think they ever did the backyard. Oh well. Anyway, it comes with a nice book. Instructions by Antonella di Donato. So there are no color illustrations or anything like that, but I'm trusting that each of the cards is represented. It looks like there is a spread or two in here, and it's probably written in a couple languages, with English maybe being the first. And let's see. Table of contents says there is no table of contents. Oh, English, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. Oh, is there a tear tab? Oh, that'd be so awesome. I don't think there is. Here are the backs. Rounded corners. I'm not going to shuffle it now, obviously, because I want to show it to you in order. It does have a smell to it. Just wanted to mention that. But it just smells like the typical commercial stock smell. It'll go away. Title card, and we begin quickly with the Fool. Now, for me, a test of whether a tarot deck is worthy is if you can look at the card without a name or without anything and know what it is, right? Would we recognize this as the Fool? I think so. For me, the tell would be that right there. The other geometric stuff, and maybe the hat, you know, maybe the jester's hat. And okay, the suggestion of a dog. You may have to look more carefully for the dog and the hat, but I think this quickly is the tell right there. I think we could tell that this is the Magician, particularly of the Rider-Waite-Smith variety, since it does have the lemniscate over the Fool, over the Magician's head. He's got a wand, and the 4 suits seem to be represented. We have at least the pentacles, we have the wand. This must be a cup, and I guess the wand is just not one of the suits. So here we have the baton, and then here we have a sword. Okay, the female Pope, I think we could grasp that. You know, particularly of Rider-Waite-Smith tradition, right? The Empress, well, she does have an orb, and she's wearing a crown. Let's see how she's distinguished from the other queens in the deck. Now this, okay, the Emperor. He's got his orb, he's got this staff, he's got a crown, the suggestion of a crown. Definitely the Pope. The Lovers. Would I know this was a Lover's card? Well, we have the puzzle pieces that fit together a heart shape. The horses are giveaway. Horses on wheels. Unfortunately, Fortitude is number 8 rather than 11. But of course, this is Rider-Waite-Smith. So would we recognize this as Fortitude? Well, we do have the very faint suggestion of a lion in the background that kind of is dominated by what looks like a funnel, right? But that is a lion, and that's his nose, and that's his eye. Maybe this could have been a little bit more pronounced so that we could see it in contrast, or maybe that was the whole point of it. I don't know. Okay, we see a lantern, we see a flame, we see an old man. Would I know this was the Wheel of Fortune? Probably not. Me personally. Justice, of course. The Hanged Man, yes. Ooh, Death. That's interesting. So the space he occupies looks like a skull, but the Death figure is there. Curious. Temperance, would I know? Let's put aside the cards that I personally. Doesn't mean that you wouldn't recognize them, right? This is just my take on things, not that it's true or anything like that, right? I'm just going to put aside the cards that I don't think I would necessarily catch on to. Now, the Empress, I think I said I wanted to see how she compares to some of the queens. So although I could see that that's the Empress, I just want to see how she does compare to some of the queens. Put that out there. Okay, Temperance. Would I know this is Temperance? I don't know. It's an eye excreting liquid into a cup. Okay, we would recognize the Devil, the Tower. Oh, that's clever. How the lightning bolt is part of the design, like a negative shape. So I like the play with negative shapes, and we saw that again in the Tower card, right? Excuse me, in the Death card. Where is he? A play with negative shape. I guess we know that is the star. The moon. Okay. I don't know what's all that going on. Maybe it's just a finger holding the moon, a hand holding the moon. I'm not sure, but it's got a moon in it, so of course this has a moon in it too. But we have the sunshine. And we have this shape. So is this cactus? Cacti being referenced? I don't know. Judgment, huh? The world, again with the hand, not cactus. I don't know, but I guess I'd figure that out. And now we go into the pips. Ace of Cups. So without the titles, would I know what these cards were? You know, yeah, I guess so. If we're familiar with Rider-Waite-Smith, maybe yes. Some are easier than others. I think I liked it better when I saw it on Simon's channel. I will do a video. The next video you'll see will be a reading using these cards, because whenever I get a deck, whenever I either buy a deck, or if it's received as a gift from a viewer or something like that, I'll always do a reading with it. So we'll see how it reads. So we have a page, a knight, a queen, and a king. Okay, and it looks like the suit of cups was all color coded. That's the other thing, right? So we have a color coding of blue. So now that'll help us out too. That'll help us with figuring stuff out. The next suit in the way they have things ordered is coins. So we have the Ace of Coins, and I was wondering if I would recognize the Wheel of Fortune separate from the Ace of Pentacles, okay? So once you're familiar with the fact that the suit of Pentacles has a green background, by process of elimination, you'll know that that's not it, aside from the words on the bottom, of course. But I'm not sure that there's enough for me to recognize that this is Lady Fortuna in the Wheel of Fortune. So you get the gesture for sure for the 4. I suppose one might argue, well, you just have to, it's meditative. You have to look at it. You have, and that's true, right? I mean, you have to look at it for a second. But for me, tarot has become, I want to make connections quickly. That whole Mind Games little series of videos that I've been creating, right, is be able to make connections between things. And that's a discipline of the brain. Now, that's not to say that you don't want to get lost in a deck sometimes, or you don't want to say, ooh, what's going on here? And maybe that's part of just familiarizing yourself with a deck before you take it on. But I kind of have, a rule of thumb for myself that if I can open a deck and read the deck and recognize the cards and the concepts they represent, that for me, that's a good deck. page, the knight, the queen, and the king. So kings have beards, so you know that they're men and not women. Okay, so batons or wands are either red or bright orange. So we have somebody who's familiar with the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition, if you were to do a side-by-side of this with a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it would help you familiarize yourself with it even more. Than if you just, unless you have an intimate understanding of Rider-Waite-Smith, you may need to do a side-by-side, but anybody who's spent any time with Rider-Waite-Smith can recognize the cards. And then the suit of swords is yellow. Interesting. Okay, so we have well, that's clearly the Three of Swords. That's clearly the 4, the 5, easy to recognize, 6, 7, 8, very easy to recognize, 9, 10. Okay, we got all that. So the suit of swords, I think, is the easiest to recognize, and then this is just a card. So these other cards that I wasn't sure if I would recognize by default, I guess by default, I wanted to see how she was different from queens. Well, the queens are much more abstract, I think. Let's get to a queen. Okay, yeah, so the queens are, I think, probably following suit if we go across the board. She's quite different than the queens. So yeah, we could, by default, by being familiar with what the queens look like, I think we would recognize that, we could remember that she's the Empress. For sure. It's the queens we might have trouble with, right? The queens we might have trouble with. Now, again, fortunately, they have names written on them, so. And then the last one was the Temperance. And, the Triumph Order doesn't have a consistent background, but we know by default that cups are blue, pentacles are green, batons are red or orange, and then the swords are yellow. So by default, we know that this would have to be a Triumph card. And by default, after we put the other ones together, we would know it was Temperance. And that's, of course, going on, not just counting on the name or the number, right? It's just the image itself. How well do you recognize it? Now, I do like I mentioned, I do like abstract tarot cards, as long as they get the concept across with their abstraction. Let's see how it shuffles. Well, it shuffles like a trooper, just like, those Scarabeo decks typically will. Whoops, that was me, not the deck. Oh, again, me, not the deck. I'm trying to do this through the lens of a camera. There we go. So it's a nice little shuffler. And it's got the rounded edges. And if you like the Rider-Waite-Smith tradition or varieties thereof, like I said, I was hoping this was a pip deck, and then I kind of realized after I ordered it that it was not. I think I was watching Simon's channel, and I was watching this video, and then I saw like the first few in the Triumph Order and thought, oh, I want it. Say cuckoo knows. And so I ordered it, and then by the time he finished the video, I realized it was not a pip style deck. But I had already committed, and I guess I could have canceled it, but I was like, whatever. Let's just see what it has. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed it, and you can make your own decisions, of course. Just, this was my 2 cents. Until next time, friends. Peace, stay well, be brave, be kind. Show up, speak up, and vote. Please vote.